Ich hoffe, du wirst dich bald nach deiner Operation erholen.
I hope you will soon recover after your surgery. I hope you will soon recover after your surgery.
Soweit es meine Qualifikationen betrifft.
As far as my qualifications are concerned. As far as my qualifications are concerned.
Emily hatte eine sehr kreative Idee.
Emily came up with a very creative idea. Emily came up with a very creative idea.
Ich kann in bar oder auch mit Kreditkarte bezahlen.
I can pay in cash or with a credit card as well. I can pay in cash or with a credit card as well.
Es ist egal, welchen Film du auswählst.
It doesn't matter which movie you choose. It doesn't matter which movie you choose.
Spazierengehen mit deinem Hund ist eine gute Art, um Sport zu treiben.
Walking your dog is a great way to exercise. Walking your dog is a great way to exercise.
Wenn ich in deinen Schuhen stecken würde.
If I were in your shoes. If I were in your shoes.
Ich lerne seit 4 Jahren Englisch.
I have been learning English for 4 years. I have been learning English for 4 years.
Männer zeigen ihre Gefühle weniger.
Men show less of their emotions. Men show less of their emotions.
Colin ist eine sehr vielseitige Person.
Colin is a very versatile person. Colin is a very versatile person.
Eine kalte Dusche nehmen.
Take a cold shower. Take a cold shower.
Sie können davon profitieren.
They can benefit from it. They can benefit from it.
Karen bewarb sich um eine gut bezahlte Stelle.
Karen applied for a well-paid position. Karen applied for a well-paid position.
Dunkle Schokolade ist eine gesunde Auswahl.
Dark chocolate is a healthy choice. Dark chocolate is a healthy choice.
So gut wie kostenlos.
Virtually for free. Virtually for free.
Frauen haben mehr Optionen.
Women have more options. Women have more options.
Welche war die beste Szene im Film?
Which was the best scene in the movie? Which was the best scene in the movie?
Wir hatten eine schöne Zeit.
We had a good time. We had a good time.
Es hat keine Bedeutung.
It doesn't have any meaning. It doesn't have any meaning.
Würde es dir etwas ausmachen, die Haustür zu schließen?
Would you mind closing the front door? Would you mind closing the front door?
Ich schätze deine Beharrlichkeit.
I appreciate your persistence. I appreciate your persistence.
Seit wir eingezogen sind.
Ever since we moved in. Ever since we moved in.
Die Tulpe ist eine meiner Lieblingsblumen.
The tulip is one of my favorite flowers. The tulip is one of my favorite flowers.
Ich denke über einen Autokauf nach.
I'm thinking about buying a car. I'm thinking about buying a car.
Wenn ich du wäre, würde ich gehen.
If I were you, I would go. If I were you, I would go.
Er fragte mich, ob ich gehen wollte.
He asked me if I wanted to go. He asked me if I wanted to go.
Der Veranstaltungsort des Abendessens.
The venue of the dinner. The venue of the dinner.
Glücksspiel kann riskant sein.
Gambling can be risky. Gambling can be risky.
Etwas Produktiveres tun.
Do something more productive. Do something more productive.
Sharon hat sich gleich die Grippe eingefangen.
Sharon immediately caught the flu. Sharon immediately caught the flu.
Es ist höflich, Kellnern Tipps zu geben.
It is polite to give tips to waiters. It is polite to give tips to waiters.
Geld auf ein Bankkonto überweisen.
Transfer money to a bank account. Transfer money to a bank account.
Sandra will bei 32 Grad in den Rocky Mountains wandern gehen.
Sandra wants to go hiking in the Rocky Mountains in 32 degrees. Sandra wants to go hiking in the Rocky Mountains in 32 degrees.
Felix trägt seine Brille nicht jeden Tag.
Felix doesn't wear his glasses every day. Felix doesn't wear his glasses every day.
Im Vergleich zu den schwedischen Studenten.
Compared to the Swedish students. Compared to the Swedish students.
Ihres ist ein viel besseres Liefersystem.
Yours is a much better delivery system. Yours is a much better delivery system.
Es hängt vom Wetter ab.
It depends on the weather. It depends on the weather.
Ich glaube, dass das perfekt ist.
I believe that this is the perfect choice. I believe that this is the perfect choice.
Außerdem sind sie sehr talentiert im Reiten.
Besides that, they are very talented at riding. Besides that, they are very talented at riding.
Ein Opfer von Online-Mobbing.
A victim of online bullying. A victim of online bullying.
Felicity macht einen Finanzkurs.
Felicity is doing a course in finance. Felicity is doing a course in finance.
Entzündung in Schach halten.
Keep inflammation at bay. Keep inflammation at bay.
In der Tat.
As a matter of fact. As a matter of fact.
Ihre Enkelkinder sind einzigartig.
Your grandchildren are one of a kind. Your grandchildren are one of a kind.
Handys sind extrem beliebt.
Cell phones are extremely popular. Cell phones are extremely popular.
Du kannst dich immer auf Mason verlassen.
You can always rely on Mason. You can always rely on Mason.
Sie konkurrieren immer um den besten Platz.
They always compete for the best place. They always compete for the best place.
Sport fördert deine Willenskraft.
Sports develop your willpower. Sports develop your willpower.
Die Umsätze steigen.
Sales are increasing. Sales are increasing.
Diese Wohnung ist für 2 Monate verfügbar.
This apartment is available for 2 months. This apartment is available for 2 months.
Die Gegend, in der die Burtons leben.
The area where the Burtons live. The area where the Burtons live.
Billy startete den Motor.
Billy started the engine. Billy started the engine.
Die letzte Folge einer Serie.
The last episode of a series. The last episode of a series.
Ich wollte dich nicht warten lassen.
I didn't want to keep you waiting. I didn't want to keep you waiting.
Aus dem Auto steigen.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Eine reiche Auswahl an Fernsehprogramme.
A rich choice of TV programs. A rich choice of TV programs.
Aufregung kann Schwitzen verursachen.
Excitement can cause sweating. Excitement can cause sweating.
Es tut mir leid für Sie.
I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for them.
Die Teilnehmer müssen dieses Formular ausfüllen.
The participants need to fill in this form. The participants need to fill in this form.
Die Länge deines Rocks.
The length of your skirt. The length of your skirt.
Sie haben mich bei meinem Namen genannt.
They called me by my name. They called me by my name.
Ich habe Ihnen empfohlen, in einem Hotel zu übernachten.
I recommended that they stay at a hotel. I recommended that they stay at a hotel.
Ich habe mich an den Lärm gewöhnt.
I got used to the noise. I got used to the noise.
Dieser Junge ist sehr energisch und voller Leben.
This boy is very energetic and full of life. This boy is very energetic and full of life.
Meine Migräne wird schlimmer.
My migraine is getting worse. My migraine is getting worse.
Ferienhäuser sind ideal für junge Paare.
Cottages are ideal for young couples. Cottages are ideal for young couples.
Dieser Pilz ist überhaupt nicht giftig.
That mushroom isn't poisonous at all. That mushroom isn't poisonous at all.
Als ich ankam, hatte sie bereits das Frühstück beendet.
By the time I arrived, she had already finished breakfast. By the time I arrived, she had already finished breakfast.
Mein Onkel war schon immer ein Bücherwurm.
My uncle has always been a bookworm. My uncle has always been a bookworm.
Was ist mit einem Ausflug in die Berge?
What about taking a trip to the hills? What about taking a trip to the hills?
Ich blieb stehen, um den Müll aufzuheben.
I stopped to pick up the trash. I stopped to pick up the trash.
Einen theoretischen Test bestehen.
Pass a theoretical test. Pass a theoretical test.
Es hängt von dir ab.
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Dieses Thema ansprechen.
Bring up this topic. Bring up this topic.
Ich habe den Bus letzte Nacht verpasst.
I missed the bus last night. I missed the bus last night.
Reisen mit dem Auto ist zeitaufwendig.
Traveling by car is time-consuming. Traveling by car is time-consuming.
Die Smiths zogen in eine andere Stadt.
The Smiths moved to another city. The Smiths moved to another city.
Über das Internet.
Via the Internet. Via the Internet.
Flugreisen machen mich schwindelig.
Air travel makes me dizzy. Air travel makes me dizzy.
Die höchsten und niedrigsten Ebenen des Meeres.
The highest and lowest levels of the sea. The highest and lowest levels of the sea.
Nach einer Weile verließen sie das Haus.
After a while they left the house. After a while they left the house.
Es haust viele Konzerte im Freien und Veranstaltungen.
It's home to many outdoor concerts and events. It's home to many outdoor concerts and events.
Ich möchte auch die Bedeutung der Integrität erwähnen.
I want to mention the importance of integrity as well. I want to mention the importance of integrity as well.
Diese Frage ist unvermeidlich.
This question is inevitable. This question is inevitable.
Ich habe ausgezeichnete Kommunikationsfähigkeiten.
I have excellent communication skills. I have excellent communication skills.
Wenn ich ein ähnliches Problem hätte.
If I had a similar problem. If I had a similar problem.
Der Grund, warum ich diese Stadt gewählt habe.
The reason why I have chosen this city. The reason why I have chosen this city.
Es regnet weiterhin.
It keeps raining. It keeps raining.
In Kontakt mit Freunden bleiben.
Keep in touch with friends. Keep in touch with friends.
Last-Minute-Reisen sind relativ billig.
Last-minute trips are relatively cheap. Last-minute trips are relatively cheap.
Am Bahnhof ankommen.
Arrive at the station. Arrive at the station.
Die Reise verschieben.
Postpone the trip. Postpone the trip.
Die Menge des Materials ist riesig.
The quantity of the material is huge. The quantity of the material is huge.
Fast 200 internationale Gäste.
Nearly 200 international guests. Nearly 200 international guests.
Innerhalb der erwarteten Lieferzeit.
Within the expected delivery time. Within the expected delivery time.
Du bist so begabt wie Rick.
You are as gifted as Rick. You are as gifted as Rick.
Jane und Olaf hatten ihre Abschiedspartys zur gleichen Zeit.
Jane and Olaf had their farewell parties at the same time. Jane and Olaf had their farewell parties at the same time.
In Verbindung mit den glutenfreien Produkten.
In connection with the gluten-free products. In connection with the gluten-free products.
Arme brauchen Hilfe.
The poor need help. The poor need help.
Wir sitzen im selben Boot.
We are in the same boat. We are in the same boat.
Kannst du mir einen Gefallen tun?
Can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor?
Endlich sind sie entkommen.
At last they escaped. At last they escaped.
Sie haben den sorglosen Angestellten gefeuert.
They have fired the careless employee. They have fired the careless employee.
Sandra hat eine wichtige Entscheidung getroffen.
Sandra has made an important decision. Sandra has made an important decision.
Als Konsequenz.
As a consequence. As a consequence.
Claire macht Fortschritte in ihrem Projekt.
Claire is making progress in her project. Claire is making progress in her project.
Ich habe zum ersten Mal einen Papagei.
I have a parrot for the first time. I have a parrot for the first time.
Für eine Untersuchung ins Krankenhaus gehen.
Go to the hospital for an examination. Go to the hospital for an examination.
Im Frühlingssemester.
In the spring semester. In the spring semester.
Es ist schwer abzuschätzen.
It's difficult to estimate. It's difficult to estimate.
Ich kann diesen Job nicht unvollendet lassen.
I can't leave this job unfinished. I can't leave this job unfinished.
Jungen sind von Computerspielen besessen.
Boys are obsessed with computer games. Boys are obsessed with computer games.
Ich würde gerne wissen, ob es möglich ist.
I would like to know if it is possible. I would like to know if it is possible.
Viele Geräusche machen.
Make a lot of noise. Make a lot of noise.
Waren Sie jemals in Peru?
Have you ever been to Peru? Have you ever been to Peru?
Jagen ist ein aufregendes Hobby.
Hunting is an exciting hobby. Hunting is an exciting hobby.
In der Tat war es der Dieb, der das Geld gestohlen hat.
In fact, it was the thief who stole the money. In fact, it was the thief who stole the money.
Stört es dich, wenn ich mir deinen Rucksack ausleihe?
Do you mind if I borrow your backpack? Do you mind if I borrow your backpack?
Jason ist ein Experte in Marketing.
Jason is an expert in the field of marketing. Jason is an expert in the field of marketing.
Einige Berge in Alaska wurden nicht benannt.
Some mountains in Alaska have not been named. Some mountains in Alaska have not been named.
Die Details sind nicht im Kommentar enthalten.
The details aren't included in the comment. The details aren't included in the comment.
Menschen in Städten leben eher in Wohnungen.
People in cities tend to live in apartments. People in cities tend to live in apartments.
Es war das erste Mal, dass er nach Deutschland gereist war.
It was the first time he had traveled to Germany. It was the first time he had traveled to Germany.
Schüler haben manchmal Schwierigkeiten mit dem Lernen.
Students sometimes struggle with learning. Students sometimes struggle with learning.
Die Atmosphäre war sehr freundlich.
The atmosphere was very friendly. The atmosphere was very friendly.
Einen Artikel über Handys lesen.
Read an article about cell phones. Read an article about cell phones.
Sie missbilligt das Rauchen im Haus.
She disapproves of smoking in the house. She disapproves of smoking in the house.
Wenn ich Studenten einstellen könnte.
If I could hire college students. If I could hire college students.
Elektronische Geräte wie iPods oder Laptops.
Electronic devices, such as iPods or laptops. Electronic devices, such as iPods or laptops.
Es ist Zeit für uns, Fortschritte zu machen.
It's time for us to make progress. It's time for us to make progress.
Freitags gehe ich reiten.
I go riding on Fridays. I go riding on Fridays.
Sie werden die gesamte Rinderfarm erben.
They will inherit the whole cattle farm. They will inherit the whole cattle farm.
Zurück nach Kanada.
Return to Canada. Return to Canada.
Sie bekommen ihr Gehalt monatlich.
They get their salary monthly. They get their salary monthly.
Die Narbe an meinem Bein ist immer noch sichtbar.
The scar is still visible on my leg. The scar is still visible on my leg.
Lass uns am Fuße des Berges treffen.
Let's meet at the foot of the mountain. Let's meet at the foot of the mountain.
Ich habe nur gescherzt.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Wir verbrachten einen angenehmen Nachmittag im Café.
We spent a pleasant afternoon in the cafe. We spent a pleasant afternoon in the cafe.
Soll ich die Geschenke einpacken?
Do you want me to wrap the presents? Do you want me to wrap the presents?
Die Slowakei grenzt im Norden an Ungarn an.
Slovakia borders Hungary in the north. Slovakia borders Hungary in the north.
Sie können bei einer Bank Geld wechseln.
You can exchange money at a bank. You can exchange money at a bank.
Sie waren unterwegs nach Bognor Regis.
They were on the road to Bognor Regis. They were on the road to Bognor Regis.
Ich muss dieses Projekt bis zum nächsten Wochenende beenden.
I need to finish this project by next weekend. I need to finish this project by next weekend.
Die Mehrheit der Menschen.
The majority of people. The majority of people.
Ich denke, ich werde dich diese Woche irgendwann besuchen.
I think I'll visit you sometime this week. I think I'll visit you sometime this week.
Zu guter Letzt.
Last but not least. Last but not least.
Es ist höflich, den Fußgängern Platz zu machen.
It is polite to give way to the pedestrians. It is polite to give way to the pedestrians.
Kinder sind oft an Hausarbeiten beteiligt.
Children are often involved in domestic chores. Children are often involved in domestic chores.
Meine Paten sind gesellige Menschen.
My godparents are sociable people. My godparents are sociable people.
Der Schlüssel zum Erfolg.
The key to success. The key to success.
Ich überredete Gary, mit uns zu kommen.
I persuaded Gary to come with us. I persuaded Gary to come with us.
Das war das bisher beste Jahr seines Lebens.
This has been the best year of his life so far. This has been the best year of his life so far.
Ich möchte meinen Job nicht kündigen.
I don't want to quit my job. I don't want to quit my job.
Der Mangel an Pünktlichkeit.
The lack of punctuality. The lack of punctuality.
Ich lerne selten neue Leute kennen.
I rarely get to know new faces. I rarely get to know new faces.
Der Löwe griff die Affen an.
The lion attacked the monkeys. The lion attacked the monkeys.
Noch bevor der Wettbewerb beginnt.
Even before the competition begins. Even before the competition begins.
Diese neue Methode ist die effizienteste.
This new method is the most efficient one. This new method is the most efficient one.
Tim schlug vor, den Rasenmäher zu verkaufen.
Tim suggested that I sell the lawn mower. Tim suggested that I sell the lawn mower.
Die Musik ist zu laut.
The music is too loud. The music is too loud.
In den vergangenen Jahren.
In the previous years. In the previous years.
Ich arbeite als Bibliothekar in der lokalen Bibliothek.
I work as a librarian at the local library. I work as a librarian at the local library.
Die Auswirkungen der Werbung auf Kinder.
The impact of advertising on children. The impact of advertising on children.
Julian ist ein sehr ehrlicher und anständiger Typ.
Julian is a very honest and decent guy. Julian is a very honest and decent guy.
Ries hat die Geschichtsprüfung bestanden.
Reese passed the history exam. Reese passed the history exam.
Was die Fans betrifft.
As for the fans. As for the fans.
Ich würde gerne mein Essen mit ihnen teilen.
I would gladly share my food with them. I would gladly share my food with them.
Es ist unhöflich, jemanden warten zu lassen.
It's impolite to keep somebody waiting. It's impolite to keep somebody waiting.
Viele Erwachsene haben einen sitzenden Lebensstil.
Many adults have a sedentary lifestyle. Many adults have a sedentary lifestyle.
Konsistenz ist an jedem Arbeitsplatz von entscheidender Bedeutung.
Consistency is crucial at every workplace. Consistency is crucial at every workplace.
Gegen Mittag fahren wir nach Denver los.
We are leaving for Denver at noon. We are leaving for Denver at noon.
Das Taxi bringt Sie von Tür zu Tür.
The taxi will take you from door to door. The taxi will take you from door to door.
Den Mut haben, etwas auszuprobieren.
Have the courage to try out something. Have the courage to try out something.
Er fuhr langsamer, als er den Hund sah.
He slowed down when he saw the dog. He slowed down when he saw the dog.
Studenten sind sehr kontaktfreudig.
University students are very outgoing. University students are very outgoing.
Immer mehr Menschen.
More and more people. More and more people.
Es gibt einen geringen Unterschied zwischen den beiden Fotos.
There is a slight difference between the two photos. There is a slight difference between the two photos.
Ich habe nie Albträume.
I never have nightmares. I never have nightmares.
Das neue Haus meiner Schwiegermutter ist sehr gemütlich.
My mother-in-law's new house is very cozy. My mother-in-law's new house is very cozy.
Um die Wahrheit zu sagen.
To tell the truth. To tell the truth.
Die Umwelt schützen.
Protect the environment. Protect the environment.
Weil das Wetter regnerisch ist.
As the weather is rainy. As the weather is rainy.
Wo sollen wir uns treffen?
Where should we meet? Where should we meet?
Plötzlich hörte er auf zu atmen.
All of a sudden, he stopped breathing. All of a sudden, he stopped breathing.
Haustausch ist ein neues Phänomen.
House swapping is a new phenomenon. House swapping is a new phenomenon.
Wie weit es auch ist.
However far it is. However far it is.
Ich habe es satt, die ganze Zeit zu lernen.
I'm fed up with learning all the time. I'm fed up with learning all the time.
Sie hatten genug Zeit zu essen.
They had enough time to eat. They had enough time to eat.
Du kannst deine Gesundheit nicht riskieren.
You can't risk your health. You can't risk your health.
Die Zeit der Ankunft.
The time of arrival. The time of arrival.
Leute sagen, rohes Ei ist gut für Sportler.
People say raw egg is good for sportsmen. People say raw egg is good for sportsmen.
Unter einer Art von Lernschwäche leiden.
Suffer from some kind of learning disability. Suffer from some kind of learning disability.
Es scheint eine außergewöhnlich gute Option zu sein.
It seems to be an exceptionally good option. It seems to be an exceptionally good option.
Es ist schön, einen friedlichen Ort zu finden, wenn du etwas Ruhe brauchst.
It's nice to find a peaceful place when you need some rest. It's nice to find a peaceful place when you need some rest.
Joyces Lieblingszeit ist der Abend.
Joyce's favorite time of day is the evening. Joyce's favorite time of day is the evening.
Das Ziel dieser Diskussion.
The aim of this discussion. The aim of this discussion.
Würden Sie mir erklären, was es bedeutet?
Would you explain to me what it means? Would you explain to me what it means?
Lila ist die Mischung aus Rot und Blau.
Purple is the mixture of red and blue. Purple is the mixture of red and blue.
Lass mich dir helfen.
Let me help you. Let me help you.
Wir konsumieren ungefähr 5 Pfund Schokolade pro Jahr.
We consume about 5 pounds of chocolate a year. We consume about 5 pounds of chocolate a year.
Amerikaner konsumieren viele Weizenprodukte.
Americans consume a lot of wheat products. Americans consume a lot of wheat products.
Er fuhr am meisten.
He drove the most. He drove the most.
Diese Handys sind die schlimmsten von allen.
Those cell phones are the worst of all. Those cell phones are the worst of all.
Das ist eine besondere Woche für mich.
This is a special week for me. This is a special week for me.
Wir müssen noch etwas Wasser hinzufügen.
We need to add some more water to it. We need to add some more water to it.
Umweltschutz.
Environmental protection. Environmental protection.
Ich sollte auf Diät gehen.
I should go on a diet. I should go on a diet.
Der schnellste Weg zum Bahnhof ist mit dem Auto.
The fastest way to the station is by car. The fastest way to the station is by car.
Sei vorsichtig, denn die Straßen sind rutschig.
Be careful because the roads are slippery. Be careful because the roads are slippery.
Umarmungen machen die Menschen glücklich.
Hugs make people feel happy. Hugs make people feel happy.
Das Frühstück wird im Speisesaal serviert.
Breakfast is served in the dining hall. Breakfast is served in the dining hall.
Ist dieser Platz besetzt?
Is this seat taken? Is this seat taken?
Es gibt keine Beweise.
There isn't any evidence. There isn't any evidence.
Unser Sehvermögen ist ein unschätzbares Geschenk.
Our sight is a priceless gift. Our sight is a priceless gift.
Übung macht den Meister.
Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect.
So oft du willst.
As many times as you like. As many times as you like.
Mäßiger Alkoholkonsum.
Moderate alcohol consumption. Moderate alcohol consumption.
Nachmittags bin ich immer müde.
I am always sleepy in the afternoon. I am always sleepy in the afternoon.
Deine Freizeit auf dem Land verbringen.
Spend your leisure time in the countryside. Spend your leisure time in the countryside.
Diese Tassen sind sehr zerbrechlich.
These cups are very fragile. These cups are very fragile.
Er hat eine Leidenschaft für die Schauspielerei.
He is passionate about acting. He is passionate about acting.
Ich komme immer pünktlich an.
I always manage to arrive on time. I always manage to arrive on time.
Alex und Jenny haben sich letzten Monat getrennt.
Alex and Jenny broke up last month. Alex and Jenny broke up last month.
Thailändische Küche ähnelt der chinesischen Küche.
Thai cuisine is similar to Chinese cuisine. Thai cuisine is similar to Chinese cuisine.
Technologie spielt eine große Rolle in unserem Leben.
Technology plays a major role in our life. Technology plays a major role in our life.
In beiden Fällen.
In both cases. In both cases.
Die Ostertraditionen beibehalten.
Keep the Easter traditions. Keep the Easter traditions.
Ich kann es nicht ertragen zu warten.
I can't stand waiting. I can't stand waiting.
An einem Geldautomaten Geld abheben.
Withdraw money from an ATM. Withdraw money from an ATM.
Sie vertrat die Premierminister.
She represented the Prime Minister. She represented the Prime Minister.
Dein Herz funktioniert besser, wenn du regelmäßig läufst.
Your heart functions better if you run regularly. Your heart functions better if you run regularly.
Für 2 Monate.
For 2 months. For 2 months.
Nach der Wettervorhersage.
According to the weather forecast. According to the weather forecast.
Lauras Kreativität ist unglaublich.
Laura's creativity is unbelievable. Laura's creativity is unbelievable.
Niemand will seine Träume aufgeben.
Nobody wants to give up their dreams. Nobody wants to give up their dreams.
Zeit und Energie sparen.
Save time and energy. Save time and energy.
Miso ist eine Art japanische Suppe.
Miso is a kind of Japanese soup. Miso is a kind of Japanese soup.
Alle Computer, auch deine.
All the computers, including yours, too. All the computers, including yours, too.
Das Ufer eines Ozeans bietet man eine unglaubliche Aussicht.
The shore of an ocean gives you an incredible view. The shore of an ocean gives you an incredible view.
Ihn für seinen Verlust entschädigen.
Compensate him for his loss. Compensate him for his loss.
Ich beneide dich um dein schönes, dichtes, rotes Haar.
I envy your beautiful, thick, red hair. I envy your beautiful, thick, red hair.
Jedes Land in Afrika.
Every country in Africa. Every country in Africa.
Riley liegt immer in der Sonne.
Riley always lies in the sun. Riley always lies in the sun.
In naher Zukunft.
In the near future. In the near future.
Die Maus aß ein Stück Käse.
The mouse ate a piece of cheese. The mouse ate a piece of cheese.
Du missverstehst, was ich sage.
You misunderstand what I am saying. You misunderstand what I am saying.
Die meisten Menschen haben einen Vollzeitjob.
Most people have a full-time job. Most people have a full-time job.
Ich plane selten Dinge im Voraus.
I rarely plan things in advance. I rarely plan things in advance.
Die Idee im Detail erklären.
Explain the idea in details. Explain the idea in details.
Die Flut breitete sich in der ganzen Stadt aus.
The flood spread all over the city. The flood spread all over the city.
Aus verschiedenen Gründen.
For different reasons. For different reasons.
Sie verbringen intensiv genutzte Zeit zusammen.
They spend quality time together. They spend quality time together.
Dieses Gemälde gehört der Regierung.
This painting is owned by the government. This painting is owned by the government.
Die Oberfläche des Tisches ist rau.
The surface of the table is rough. The surface of the table is rough.
Da ist nichts in meiner Tasche.
There is nothing in my pocket. There is nothing in my pocket.
Er verbrachte letzten August in Venedig.
He spent last August in Venice. He spent last August in Venice.
Das ist ein seltsamer Kommentar.
That's a weird comment. That's a weird comment.
Wie lange hast du schon einen Führerschein?
How long have you had a driver's license? How long have you had a driver's license?
Hast du schon eine Entscheidung getroffen?
Have you made a decision yet? Have you made a decision yet?
Ein bestimmtes Produkt kaufen.
Buy a particular product. Buy a particular product.
Betreffend Kleidung.
Concerning clothes. Concerning clothes.
Ich komme jeden Tag um 17 Uhr nach Hause.
I get home every day at 5 p.m. I get home every day at 5 p.m.
Es ist schwer, mit dir Schritt zu halten.
It's hard to keep up with you. It's hard to keep up with you.
Er hätte die Prüfung am Freitag abgelegt.
He was going to take the exam on Friday. He was going to take the exam on Friday.
Die häufigsten Aktivitäten, die wir unternehmen.
The most common activities that we do. The most common activities that we do.
Lass es mich im Voraus wissen.
Let me know in advance. Let me know in advance.
Dave hat bereits mehrere Musikpreise gewonnen.
Dave has already won several music awards. Dave has already won several music awards.
Haben Sie einen gültigen Pass?
Do you have a valid passport? Do you have a valid passport?
Ich erlaube Ihnen nicht, Süßigkeiten zu essen.
I don't allow them to eat sweets. I don't allow them to eat sweets.
Die Zeit der Abreise.
The time of departure. The time of departure.
Die Situation verbessern.
Improve the situation. Improve the situation.
Die Milch in den Kühlschrank stellen.
Put the milk into the fridge. Put the milk into the fridge.
Im Großen und Ganzen.
On the whole. On the whole.
Mastercard wird in ganz Europa akzeptiert.
Mastercard is accepted all over Europe. Mastercard is accepted all over Europe.
Flexible Arbeitszeit ist die beste Option.
Flexible work time is the best option. Flexible work time is the best option.
Ich habe meinen linken Arm verletzt.
I hurt my left arm. I hurt my left arm.
Großmütter neigen dazu, geduldig zu sein.
Grandmothers tend to be permissive. Grandmothers tend to be permissive.
Ich habe meine Ex-Frau eingeladen, mit mir Tennis zu spielen.
I invited my ex-wife to play tennis with me. I invited my ex-wife to play tennis with me.
Die Buchquittung.
The receipt of the book. The receipt of the book.
Kinder sollten am Telefon erreichbar sein.
Children should be reachable on the phone. Children should be reachable on the phone.
Gefüllter Kohl und Mohnkuchen.
Stuffed cabbage and poppy seed cake. Stuffed cabbage and poppy seed cake.
Ich hätte mir kein besseres Geschenk vorstellen können.
I couldn't have imagined a better present. I couldn't have imagined a better present.
Abholzung zerstört die Luftqualität.
Deforestation destroys the quality of air. Deforestation destroys the quality of air.
Trotz des starken Regens.
In spite of the heavy rain. In spite of the heavy rain.
Zum Glück übte sie viel zu Hause.
Fortunately, she practiced a lot at home. Fortunately, she practiced a lot at home.
Wir haben keinen Internetzugang in diesem Hotel.
We don't have internet access in this hotel. We don't have internet access in this hotel.
Im Großen und Ganzen war es eine großartige Party.
On the whole, it was a great party. On the whole, it was a great party.
Um die Hilfe eines Profis bitten.
Ask for a professional's help. Ask for a professional's help.
Dieses Lied erinnert mich an Schottland.
This song reminds me of Scotland. This song reminds me of Scotland.
Wir sind seit 12 Jahren Freunde.
We have been friends for 12 years. We have been friends for 12 years.
In der Gegend.
In the area. In the area.
Rihanna wurde auch eingeladen.
Rihanna was also invited. Rihanna was also invited.
Wir erwarten, dass Sie die Ladegeräte zurückschicken.
We expect you to send the chargers back. We expect you to send the chargers back.
Wann immer ich ins Ausland reise.
Whenever I travel abroad. Whenever I travel abroad.
Ich gebe zu, ich muss mich ändern.
I admit, I need to change. I admit, I need to change.
Ohne die Zustimmung der Direktoren.
Without the director's agreement. Without the director's agreement.
Truthahn ist ein wesentlicher Bestandteil von Thanksgiving.
Turkey is an essential part of Thanksgiving. Turkey is an essential part of Thanksgiving.
Weiter zur Hochschulbildung.
Go on to higher education. Go on to higher education.
Die Spielteilnehmer.
The participants of the game. The participants of the game.
Meiner Meinung nach.
In my opinion. In my opinion.
Es ist Mitternacht.
It's midnight. It's midnight.
Wir fahren in den Ferien in die Türkei.
We are going to Turkey for the holidays. We are going to Turkey for the holidays.
Warum bist du so traurig?
Why are you so upset? Why are you so upset?
Es ist notwendig zu kaufen.
It is necessary to buy. It is necessary to buy.
Ich komme übermorgen an.
I am arriving the day after tomorrow. I am arriving the day after tomorrow.
Der am besten geeignete Job für sie.
The most suitable job for her. The most suitable job for her.
Katie geht nie zu Fuß zur Schule.
Katie never goes to school on foot. Katie never goes to school on foot.
Ich versuche, diese alte Spülmaschine loszuwerden.
I am trying to get rid of that old dishwasher. I am trying to get rid of that old dishwasher.
Eine akzeptable Lösung.
An acceptable solution. An acceptable solution.
In Entwicklungsländern.
In developed countries. In developed countries.
Ich kann nicht mehr essen.
I can't eat anymore. I can't eat anymore.
Wir unterstützen deine Entscheidung.
We support your decision. We support your decision.
Sie wählten eine andere Route.
They chose a different route. They chose a different route.
Ich arbeite gerne mit Menschen.
I enjoy working with people. I enjoy working with people.
Ich kann sie nirgendwo finden.
I can't find them anywhere. I can't find them anywhere.
Außerhalb des Tores.
Outside the gate. Outside the gate.
Irgendwo in diesem Bereich.
Somewhere in this area. Somewhere in this area.
Kindheitsfettleibigkeit.
Childhood obesity. Childhood obesity.
Eine große Auswahl an Tee.
A huge variety of teas. A huge variety of teas.
Das ist der vorletzte.
This is the last but one. This is the last but one.
Aktuelle Technologie.
Up-to-date technology. Up-to-date technology.
Er ist von 16 bis 19 Uhr verfügbar.
He is available from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. He is available from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Den 2 Uhr Termin absagen.
Cancel the 2 o'clock appointment. Cancel the 2 o'clock appointment.
Ohne eine Pause zu machen.
Without taking a break. Without taking a break.
An unserem Hochzeitstag.
On our wedding anniversary. On our wedding anniversary.
Unter fleißigen Menschen.
Among hardworking people. Among hardworking people.
Wenn ich geschieden geblieben wäre.
If I had stayed divorced. If I had stayed divorced.
Ich habe das Auto alleine repariert.
I repaired the car by myself. I repaired the car by myself.
Ich trainiere Tag für Tag hart.
I train hard day by day. I train hard day by day.
Tägliche Aufgaben zu Hause.
Daily chores at home. Daily chores at home.
Ich muss es zurückzahlen.
I must pay it back. I must pay it back.
Eine gruselige Szene aus dem Film.
A scary scene from the movie. A scary scene from the movie.
Es ist sehr großzügig von dir.
It's very generous of you. It's very generous of you.
Vor dem Sonnenuntergang.
Before sunset. Before sunset.
Nach den Schulabschlussprüfungen.
After the school leaving exams. After the school leaving exams.
Sich finanziell sicher fühlen.
Feel financially secure. Feel financially secure.
Sie arbeitet als Anwältin.
She works as a lawyer. She works as a lawyer.
Ich trainiere regelmäßig im Fitnessstudio.
I regularly exercise in the gym. I regularly exercise in the gym.
Nach Sonnenaufgang.
After sunrise. After sunrise.
Meistens auf Bergstraßen.
Mostly on mountain roads. Mostly on mountain roads.
Du solltest auf ihn warten.
You should wait for him. You should wait for him.
Kinder brauchen emotionale Unterstützung.
Children need emotional support. Children need emotional support.
Die Rose ist ein Symbol der Liebe.
The rose is a symbol of love. The rose is a symbol of love.
Einen Sprachkurs machen.
Do a language course. Do a language course.
Sie haben hohe Erwartungen.
They have high expectations. They have high expectations.
Vom Spiel ausschließen.
Exclude from the game. Exclude from the game.
Nach den Kindern schauen.
Look after the children. Look after the children.
Dieser Fluss ist definitiv schmal.
This river is definitely narrow. This river is definitely narrow.
Ich bewundere deinen Mut.
I admire your courage. I admire your courage.
Ehrlichkeit währt am längsten.
Honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy.
Sie bekam nur eine untergeordnete Rolle in dem Stück.
She only got a minor role in the play. She only got a minor role in the play.
Mitten auf dem Schulhof.
In the middle of the schoolyard. In the middle of the schoolyard.
Dieser Film hat mich sehr berührt.
This movie touched me very much. This movie touched me very much.
Beim letzten Treffen.
At the last meeting. At the last meeting.
Sie haben lockiges Haar, nicht wahr?
You have curly hair, don't you? You have curly hair, don't you?
Zwei Jahre jünger als du.
2 years younger than you. Two years younger than you.
Möchtest du eine Pizza bestellen?
How about ordering a pizza? How about ordering a pizza?
Sonderrabatte erhalten.
Obtain special discounts. Obtain special discounts.
Ich schätze deine Bemühungen.
I appreciate your effort. I appreciate your effort.
Ich habe es jetzt eilig.
I'm in a hurry now. I'm in a hurry now.
Egal wie alt sie ist.
No matter how old she is. No matter how old she is.
Unangenehme Überraschungen.
Unpleasant surprises. Unpleasant surprises.
Wie ich bereits erwähnt habe.
As I mentioned earlier. As I mentioned earlier.
Ich mag es, spontan zu sein.
I like being spontaneous. I like being spontaneous.
Beide Möglichkeiten.
Both opportunities. Both opportunities.